This video will help you get started with using the materials for our observation notes. So when you come to our homepage, all you need to do is click on the Modules tab. This will take you to a series of documents and modules, starting with the lessons, so just scroll past those, and then you will have the observations here. So open up this page, and it gives you a little bit of an overview of what to expect. So first of all, you're going to need to conduct 9 hours of observations. Unfortunately, you cannot pass the course without submitting notes and a log showing that you have done those 9 hours. So this is really key to the course. You'll also be asked to analyze those notes, which I'll talk about. So here, I want you to make sure that you are aware that you need to be observing across the developmental span and, if possible, in different subject areas. So you will be doing some hours in the preschool to 5th grade range, some hours at the middle school level, and some hours at the high school level. So perhaps you'll do around 3 hours in an elementary kind of levels, 2nd, 3rd, 5th grade. Then maybe you'll do 2 hours at the middle school level, looking at like 6th and 8th grade. And then you'll do your remaining hours at the high school level across 9th to 12th grade. So making sure that you do get a span there. Even if you are intent on only doing teaching high school in the future or only teaching like elementary school in the future, it doesn't matter. For this course, you really need to see the developmental span. Here, for your notes, it talks about how you will be taking notes for the 9 hours. And in your notes, for each set of notes, you're going to need to look at physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development characteristics, as well as the classroom environment. And the template will help you with that, but make sure that you are doing all of those things. As you see below there, it also says you're required to make connections to the course for at least 9 observation notes. So I'm going to talk in a little bit about, you might be watching 27 videos. You don't have to do them for all 27 videos, just 9. Or maybe you'll be observing at a camp setting for 4 of those, and the rest will be observation videos. Again, you don't have to do it for every single set, but you do need to do it for 9 of your observations that you'll be making connections to the course. And here are the materials that you will need to use. Your guide of what to look for as you are observing, the template, and I highly encourage you to either print that out or just save it to your desktop so it's readily available. That is going to make sure that you are conducting the observation holistically and you are gathering information in every area that you need to, as well as a student example. So this is just a reference point to look at, not to use to copy over or anything like that, or think that it has to perfectly match it, but it gives you a general idea of some of the things that you should be capturing, as well as length for, and I think that one may have been an hour observation. It also looks at the reflection piece. So I will then have you skip over the online videos because I'm going to show you how to use those in a different video, but you will then be using the log to log your hours. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through each one of these documents. So let's start with the observation guide of things to look for. Most students say it's helpful just to print this off and have it with you as you are doing your observations, whether they be face-to-face or through the computer. It gives you ideas of what you could document related to physical development. So for instance, children's height, weight, body shape. Are there any signs of puberty that you're able to observe? Different motor skills, so from fine motor skills to gross motor skills. And just in general, the physical activities that you are able to observe. Same thing happens for cognitive development. Now, as we continue into the course, and especially during week 3, you will learn all about the cognitive theories, cognitive learning theories. Having more information on those theories will make observations easier. So I understand that maybe your first set of observations might not be as thorough because you may not have read that content yet, but it does still give you some ideas of what you could write down. So really, cognitive development is just your ability to think, organize, problem solve. So anything related to children's thinking or what the teacher is doing to help them in their thinking process. And so it gives you some ideas. Culturally responsive teaching, which we will look at during week 3 as well. thinking about the relationship of the teacher with the classroom, our students' identities reflected, and then social and emotional development, so kind of their emotional states, temperaments, type of interactions. And finally, classroom environment. So again, these are all just prompts. You do not have to answer every single one of these questions, but it will help you think about some of the things that you can be documenting. So that's the first document. I recommend printing it out and having it with you. The next one would be the template. Okay, so any observation you do, you're going to let me know the grade level, the subject area, or kind of the general activity if it's a summer camp or you're observing a math class or a drama class, the date you observed, and the time amount. So if it's an online video, it might be around 14 minutes. If you are face-to-face, maybe you're doing like 50 minutes or something like that. You also need to give me about 2 to 3 sentences just explaining the lesson or activity. Just give me a little bit of background information about what you're looking at. Then you are going to start writing things down under physical development, cognitive, culture responsive teaching, social emotional development, and classroom environment. As you see here, I don't have a lot of space underneath. You're just going to create this document for as long as you need to fill in those blanks, and I'll show you in that student example, but you should have information under each one of these. For 9 of your observations, you are going to do the reflection piece, where you need to tell me which theory or theories seem to guide the lesson, list 3 connections you can make to the course, and then compare the grade level you are observing with another grade level, whether that be higher or lower, and what differences you have seen, or if it's one of your first observation notes, what might you expect at a higher or lower grade for what you were able to observe. As I said, I have an example set that a student has completed just for art education for kindergarten. As you can see here, they give me a little bit of background on what they observed. They talk about physical development, cognitive, culturally responsive teaching, social and emotional development, the classroom environment, and then for this set of notes, the student also has the reflection piece. So you can certainly take a look at this. It might be helpful in getting started. I also have the rubric. So for all sets of notes, those first 3 points that you have clearly indicated what you're observing, the length of notes is appropriate for the type of observation that you have stuff in each category, and all the domains of development are addressed. So for all of your notes, I will apply that to what I am reviewing. For those 9 sets of notes where you do the reflection piece, you can see those bottom 2, it's kind of in a different color. I'll also apply that. So looking that you've made direct links to the course and that you have identified a guided theory with an explanation and using those theoretical terms. So those are all the documents that you will need to use to complete these observations.